This exhibition that I would love to invite you to come visit and see is the WSRC Salon of the Arts 2009 Cairns. We have a theme to this exhibition of Cairns, which is interpreted in a number of ways by our resident and visiting scholars. There are 11 artists in the show, and each of them brings a very personal, unique interpretation to the meaning of Cairns. Cairns are piles of stones which today are used to mark trails or areas to hike, peaks of mountains, and they have a very rich history in terms of being used as memorial markers or celestial markers, ways to mark boundaries that span back thousands of years. In this exhibition, for example, one of our resident scholars, Nurit Pindick, has interpreted the cairn in a very traditional way, or interpreted the theme in a very traditional way. Here we have a photograph of an actual cairn taken in Israel. This looks like something that you might find in England, sort of resembles Stonehenge, but of course this was from Israel and it dates back thousands of years, and Nurit is drawing a very interesting parallel between cairns that exist in Israel from thousands of years ago and referring to biblical references and tying things into the political situation in Israel today. This is a work in progress, so she's just beginning this investigation. Over here, we have a series of work by Susan Eisenberg called Wishing as a Whole, and this series approaches the idea of living with disease, in this case lupus, but how the medicine becomes the way that we mark our days. And she has created literal cairns, piles of objects that are meaningful in her life, but also very personal but very medical, and she combines spiritual and physical, and a number of things just come into play, much like the history of a cairn. Here in Karen Rosenthal's work, this piece titled Dancer Triptych, she really melds the human body and the natural world, which is very similar to what we see happening with the cairn, where we have mark making on the world. We see the reflection of the human dancer's body in the water, which allows us to see all of the layers and surface beneath. But the idea of the human mark making relates very closely to the cairn.